You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Welcome to your Hometown News. I'm April Frelke with my co-host Charity Seebecker. The Real Freedom Race is a nationwide fundraiser and community event to fight human sex trafficking, and we have Michelle Christensen in studio to share her story. Michelle, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're Charity and excited. Let's just start off with your story. What inspired you, or what got you motivated to be a part of the Real Freedom Race?
Right. Well, a long time ago, it feels like now. This is our 9th race.
Okay.
So back in, I would say 2013, I was listening to Suzanne Cox at a women's conference, and she was speaking about her experience with Project Rescue in Southeast Asia on a missions trip. And she was talking about this dream she had of having a 5K race to raise money for her girls with a conference the night before. And I remember sitting there listening to her in a room full of women, feeling like she was talking to me. And I went home from that conference and I said to my mother-in-law, "It's Nacita." I said, "This is where we do this." They live in Alabama. But I just knew that we needed to start doing something in our little tiny town in the middle of feels like nowhere of Wisconsin, because it mattered. And in 3 months, we pulled that first race together. And I'll never forget it, from May to August. And it was just amazing how it all came together. And year by year, just more and more details, came together. And I remember, this is going to go into talking a little bit more about the topic of what sex trafficking is. But I remember the first time that I saw it happen in front of me, and I did not know what to do. And here we were already running this race. It's a good cause. It's so important. People need to know about it. And I found myself in a situation where I saw it happen and I froze. And I will never forget it.
Was that after you got involved with the race?
It was. Yes, and so here we are educating people, and we're telling them, call the National Trafficking Hotline, call your authorities, see something, say something. And it happened right in front of me, and I just stood there and watched it go in front of me. This lady was just carted along like a dog behind a gentleman that I knew she didn't belong with. Didn't speak much English to me, didn't make eye contact, at a hotel in Wisconsin. And I froze. And so at that moment, I realized that we needed to do a better job of telling people what to watch for, what to do when you're in that situation, and how you should respond so that you can be a help to somebody. So that was a huge moment for me that keeps me going still today, all these years later.
That's huge. It is true. Like, even just situations in general, like you said, when you see something, of course, it's always, they want you to see something, say something. But that's easier said than done. Until you're in that moment, and you see it, you almost lose all of your train of thought, because your mind is going a mile a minute. Okay, what did I just see? Is this right? Do I think this? Is it this? And you really have to stop and think. So having those days of during races to train people and educate them more on that is huge, to really say, if this happens, here you go.
Yes.
So definitely. Do you mind kind of going in a little bit more about sex trafficking? What is it, how it impacted you, a little bit more with that story, and just so people can know what to look for in that sense?
So sex trafficking is somebody profiting from the sex act of another person by force, coercion, grooming, and they don't benefit from it. They are usually in a state where they have been, like I said, coerced, groomed. They are being manipulated. It's not like Hollywood, someone going out and, glamorous like that. These women have been, and boys, I hate to say it, men, women, boys, they have been influenced at a point of need in their life where someone came in and had the answer for them, and slowly and surely manipulated them until they had control of a situation where now someone is serving them and making money for them. And it's very, very dirty. It's not clean. I remember talking to my friend in Marshfield, and they used to do ministry in like gentlemen's clubs and things, and the women were actually moved around from place to place. Almost all of them were taken from different places. And so it's not what you think it looks like, and we need to be reading up on it. There's lots of awesome things from Polaris, Department of Human Services, all different kinds of resources out there to get your hands on, but it's taking advantage of another person sexually for your benefit.
When you said the word grooming, could you just talk a little bit more about that. I think I understand what you mean, like.
Yes.
But what could you just share a little bit more of what that means for our viewers?
So grooming is slowly and surely making your place in someone's life and making you the solution to all their problems, or you have the answer for all their problems. So it's not throwing someone in a car and selling them to somebody in Chicago. It's not like an abduction most of the time.
Oh, so that's a good point.
Yes. So when you think of an abduction, that can happen.
Sure.
But most of the time, it's a family member, it's a family friend, it's everyday John down the road that is slowly and surely talking to you.
To gain your trust.
To gain your trust, and therefore has a place in your life to convince you that they have everything you need and they can help you. So grooming is an intentional and a slow process of winning someone over to have a platform in their life. And so it's a very intimidating process to think about, but that's the majority of how sex trafficking, human trafficking happens, is someone slowly and surely gains your trust, and then they have your answer.
When, how have you seen an impact on the Freedom Race in the Necedah or the Juneau County or our community or maybe other communities? Because it's a nationwide event.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, we have our virtual options that go all over. We actually have a group that is walking the Atlantic City Boardwalk out east on August 7th in the evening there. They're making a statement with our Real Freedom Races out in Atlantic City because they believe in the mission this year. But I've seen a lot of people get educated who have never truly understood what it means, truly understood that it happens here. People getting passionate to help other people and to educate their children. Because like I mentioned last year, during COVID and the time of everybody's over electronic schooling, a lot of children were so much more susceptible, and they had a huge need in their life because they were pulled apart from everything they knew, and they were feeling so alone. And the rise you know, of people engaging with children online or them reaching out to other children or people they didn't know, just went through the roof. Even our friends in Milwaukee saw a triple increase in the women they served on the streets because they had nowhere to be, to hide during the day because buildings were closed. And so I've seen so many more people educating their children, you know, becoming aware, paying attention, and getting involved, even just in our small little town. And we branch all over central Wisconsin and beyond with people getting active and excited about making sure people are educated and active.
It makes me nervous as a school counselor when I hear kids saying they're on their phones in the nighttime, or I keep my iPad under my pillow just in case I can't sleep. And I'm like, no, like, why? You should not have anything in there. You know, a night light, that's it. That's all you get.
And when you're tired and susceptible, and once again, that's when the grooming process
and they
finds
get
itself.
kind of addicted to that attention.
Yes, they do. Yep.
And they're a lot more, I should say, easier in that sense to manipulate and get those feelings from them because they are very much impressionable
like
at that
said,
age.
Vulnerable.
Yeah, that's a great word.
And it's like an open door. It just needs a crack. You just need to open that door a little bit for someone to start speaking to your children or speaking to your friends, and happens to all ages.
So what can our viewers do to help now, whether that's with the actual Freedom Race or just with educating in general?
Right. So we have some resources that we do post on our Real Freedom Races Breaking the Chains of Human Trafficking Facebook page. We have the online registration so people can sign up there, get involved running, walking, fundraising. We have people who just sign up to fundraise just because they believe in the mission. We have some new and exciting things happening this year that people can volunteer, people can get active. We have a lot of silent auction things happening this year. So the viewers can get involved in multiple avenues, whether they're running, walking, coming to check out our speaker on Friday night, and getting educated on Project Rescue and what they're doing in our world. So there are so many ways that if they follow those links and go to that Facebook page, they're going to start to get educated and start to understand how their steps could matter and what they could do.
Where's the money and stuff going for? Where's that support going to?
So this year we're supporting 3 organizations again. Project Rescue, which is an international outreach, homes of hope to young people and to their mothers usually. We have the Inner Beauty Center of Milwaukee, which is a long-standing relationship. We have a representative coming from Milwaukee finally this year because they couldn't come up last year with COVID. We'll be representing their efforts on the streets of Milwaukee. And then Naomi's House, our speaker last year came from there to step into the place of our speaker who was supposed to come. And so we want to give them a little bit of love again. And Naomi's House is in Northern Illinois, and they actually house women right there.
Wow. So, when is the actual Freedom Race? You know, what date, time, cost, all that good stuff so that we can get people there to help.
Yes. So I started kind of calling it Real Freedom Weekend because we start on August 13th, Friday night from 5 to 9 p.m. at the Necedah Lions Park. We have some food trucks this year. So Jose's Authentic Mexican pop-up food truck. Everybody loves him from Baraboo. He's going to be there. And Mary Bender from Chillin' Sweets, she's committed to be there with us. So we got some tacos and ice cream for people. We're getting some vendors together. We got some atmosphere, some music going, and silent auction. And our speaker that night, Suzanne Cox from Project Rescue. And she is going to be sharing a message of hope and sharing with our communities what it means to be involved and how she got involved in helping women. So then that's on Friday night, August 13th from 5 to 9 p.m. And then Saturday we kick off the race. Registrations open at 6:30. Our first race, the half marathon, our brand new distance this year, we're going the distance, we're going longer down the road, starts at 7:30. And then at 7:45, our 5K and 10K will head off. We have, once again, our Lions Club doing an awesome pancake breakfast there, vendor shopping, silent auction, all those awesome things. We'll see how long people hang around between noon and 2 possibly. You know, we're hoping people hang around and check things out. And we have some awesome new things. We have a professional photographer coming to take people's race photos. And we got a brand new podium being built for people to stand on so they feel like empowered as they race to break the chains of human trafficking. So Friday, August 13th, Saturday, August 14th.
And everything is at the Lions Park.
Everything is at the Necedah Lions Park, yes. 901 North Harvey Street.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much for
Michelle.
having us, sharing that story with us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Catering for the cast and crew has been provided by Strike Zone and Pizzones in Tomah. Great food with fun for the whole family. Up next, Health Check 360. But first, we want to thank our sponsors.
Your hometown news is brought to you by Oakdale Credit Union, Hardware Hank in New Lisbon, the Fun Company Game Room Store, and the Little Cottage Home Decor and more in New Lisbon.
It's been a long day.
Mom, what's for dinner?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I really don't feel like cooking, so...
The best pizza. Look at that crust and cheese. Amazing burgers and steaks. Just the way I like it. Food the whole family loves. That's our specialty. And don't forget, 12 lanes of bowling fun and a huge game room. Rain or shine, always a great time. Strike Zone and Pizzones in Tomah. Hardware Hank knows you have projects. Lots of important projects. From paint to plumbing, electrical, and yard maintenance. We have the area's largest selection of Milwaukee tools. Hey, it's what the pros use. We even have an in-store chainsaw sharpening service. It's time to build your property's value with Hardware Hank New Lisbon.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
At Tomah Health, we provide expert surgical care close to home, including general, orthopedics, and endoscopy.
Tomah Health stands out from other facilities because it's a smaller facility, has easy access. We have state-of-the-art equipment. Patients at Tomah Health in our surgery department compliment us all the time on their quality of care.
Tomah Health offers quality surgical care close to home.
Tomah Health, together in care.
This hot tub is so relaxing. The stress of the week just melts away.
Hanging out with friends is fun.
And we have so many reasons to get together.
My Traeger grill is the difference between a good
and an amazing barbecue.
The Fun Company Game Room Store
is where the fun begins.
You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
After taking a year off due to crowd restrictions tied to the COVID pandemic, the annual Monroe County National Night Out is back and will be held August 3rd at Tomah's Winnebago Park. On this edition of Health Check 360, Tomah's Health and Marketing Public Relations Director Eric Prise and from the Tomah Police Department Officer Melanie Marshall joins us to share all the details on the National Night Out. Welcome to the Lynxx. Great to have you on your Health Check 360.
Thanks for the opportunity.
So, Eric, what is it like to be back now after a year off?
Well, I think most people are saying it's exciting. They're really looking forward, but mainly the police, EMS, fire, they're especially looking forward to reconnect with families again. We already know that families are excited to get back out and do things again. And this event, for if you do not know, it's a family fun event, a night at Winnebago Park. You can find out a lot of different things to make your family safer and your community a safe place to live as well. So we hope people come out.
So there's going to be booths there and like different speakers to talk to and just come in and whenever throughout that time period and
Correct.
just meeting.
Right.
Very cool.
Yep.
So Melanie, a big part of that night out is the annual Tomah Police Department Bike Expo. Can you tell us about that?
So during the Bike Expo, children 3 to 15 years of age can come and participate in the safety course that is set up at the park. Everybody that attends will, well, first of all, everybody that attends will get a backpack full of school supplies. And then once they finish the courses and stuff like that, we have numerous prizes that we give away. And that's because we've collected donations from around the community. So that's why we're able to give away those prizes and things like that. So as part of that, we ask that parents are in attendance with their children and that their children bring a bike or a bike helmet as well, because that's part of being the safety aspect. They don't always have to have a bike. They can rollerblade or use a scooter too. So.
Yeah, and I just fell off a scooter this weekend in my garage. And, I mean, I didn't think it, I had a little scrape on my knee and a little bump on my head.
You may want to come to the Bike Expo.
I should come to the Bike Expo. I was just scootering it around to put it away. And I mean, it was like 10 seconds I was on it. And
it doesn't take much at all.
Wow, yes.
You know,
it's so important.
I know someone else that similar situation. Just late, you know, I think they were on a skateboard or something and must have hit a rock. And
you never know. So it's so important. And even bike signals, like when you're turning left and right.
Yep.
I use it all the time, and I'm just thinking, so people behind me, but I don't know, do people know those bike signals?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. And now I'll just throw in that with the UTVs and stuff like that, I see a lot of the UTV riders using those hand signals.
That's what I do, because I have one. And that's I think the only reason I did know them, because otherwise I wouldn't have known about them and what they meant. And I saw people riding their bikes doing it every once in a while, but I just go, oh, okay, hey, I think you're waving to me. So like you said, it's nice to be educated on that sense, definitely.
One thing I want to add, though, for the prizes, we'll start giving those away about 5:45, and we ask that the children are present to pick up their prizes.
What time does the whole event start here?
Gets underway at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
That's when the main activities begin. And it's really a kind of a casual walk through the park and enjoy yourself. We'll have about 40 different not-for-profit groups that will have different displays and activities geared towards families and especially kids. Okay. This year's theme again is a superhero, because we know our EMS, police and fire are all superheroes. So what a great way. So come and dress up as your favorite superhero, and I think you'll enjoy the time there. Besides the displays, there will also be an actual demonstration of a mock crash, so people can become better familiar with what those superheroes do every day to keep us safe. And then we'll also have some groups that will provide food and beverage sales in the park as well.
Okay, so you can get a soda or maybe a hamburger or something.
Correct.
Yep, you're not obligated to buy anything.
But it's provided
It's there on site. Yep.
Other than that, everything else is free for the evening. Yep.
I like the backpack, that free backpack part.
And I'm able to do that because of a donation from Walmart. Walmart's a big sponsor of this as well for our bike rodeo.
Okay. Eric, just to follow up, other events going on this year?
Well, I think those were the main events that we talked about. There is also, I think, the demonstration. We talked about that at 7 o'clock. But it really is just a casual walk through the park, enjoy yourself.
And not under any pressure to do anything, but just explore,
not at all.
meet people.
And there will be kids' activities too. There'll be some fun things for kids to do. And really all the displays are to have an interactive component. So we get some interaction taking place rather than just walking by and feeling that you can't talk to anybody.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right.
So Melanie, what is the message to area residents on why they should attend? What's that key hit home?
If they've never attended National Night Out, I strongly encourage that because, and we've kind of already touched on that, is, you know, you're getting to see some of these professionals, you know, in a different atmosphere type of thing. You can sit and visit with them and talk with them. And, you know, sometimes you see that people are afraid to talk to a police officer or someone on an ambulance crew or, you know, any of those other organizations. So it kind of opens up the door for that communication and get to know what kind of safety things are out there, organizations and what they provide. I mean, in the last few years, just being involved in this, there were some groups out there I had never heard of, and then they reached out to me and they're like, can we come? So.
Plus, who doesn't like to get up close to a fire truck, an ambulance? There are lots of children I know that will just enjoy the evening out, big and small.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, just in our 10 seconds to wrap up, further information, how do people find out more information?
Well, it's a partnership this year. Tomah Health is obviously involved along with police and city, but you can go to the hospital's website at tomahhealth.org and then check out the police and also hospital social media sites for any other information you might need.
Great.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, Nick is back with Moments in History. Stay tuned. Nice job.
This hot tub is so relaxing. The stress of the week just melts away.
Hanging out with friends is fun.
And we have so many reasons to get together.
My Traeger grill is the difference between a good
and an amazing barbecue.
The Fun Company Game Room Store
is where the fun begins.
At Tomah Health, we provide a variety of surgical services, including general and orthopedics.
We do a variety of different things, from orthopedics, generalized surgeries, even specialty ones too.
Patients at Tomah Health in our surgery department compliment us all the time on their quality of care.
Whether it's a total joint replacement to get you back to doing the things you love to do, helping clear cataracts so you can see those you love the most, or helping deliver a new baby.
Tomah Health offers quality surgical care close to home.
It's been a long day.
Mom, what's for dinner?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I really don't feel like cooking, so...
The best pizza. Look at that crust and cheese. Amazing burgers and steaks. Just the way I like it. Food the whole family loves. That's our specialty. And don't forget, 12 lanes of bowling fun and a huge game room. Rain or shine, always a great time. Strike Zone at Pizzone's in Tomah.
What's the more in the little cottage home decor and more? Fashion. Shopping is fun at the little cottage. Update your look and discover more at the Little Cottage Home Decor and More, New Lisbon.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
Hardware Hank knows you have projects, lots of important projects, from paint to plumbing, electrical, and yard maintenance. We have the area's largest selection of Milwaukee tools. Hey, it's what the pros use. We even have an in-store chainsaw sharpening service. It's time to build your property's value with Hardware Hank New Lisbon.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Welcome back. It's time for Nick's Moments in History.
Well, hello, ladies. How are you?
Good, how are
We're
you?
doing really good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Hey, listen, this day in history features an often forgotten or oft-forgotten pioneer in aviation, a guy named Wiley Post. Now, we all recall his colleague, Charles Lindbergh, who was the first to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean in his plane called the Spirit of St. Louis. Now, that was back in 1927. Almost 100 years ago now. But just 5 years after he had done that, on this date in 1933, Wiley Post returned to New York after flying around the entire globe. He did that solo, and he did it in a little short of 8 days. Actually, 7 days, 18 hours, 49 minutes. And like Lindbergh, he was the first to do this. But unlike Lindbergh, he had to make a few stops to go around the world. First, he repeated Lindbergh's crossing, and instead of France, he went right over, landed in Berlin. After that, he made a few stops in Russia, big country, then Canada, and finally, bango, back to New York, where he had left 7 days before. His trip was just under 16,000 miles in his plane called the Winnie Mae. How's that? Now, Wiley Post came to a sad ending, however, 2 years later. Just 2 years after that, he had done that. He crashed on takeoff from Alaska while he was attempting to fly across the North Pole into Russia. On board with him was the famed American humorist Will Rogers. I'll bet you all have heard of Will Rogers. Both of them died in that crash. And Wiley Post was long remembered not for his wonderful trip around the world the first time, but for, in effect, killing Will Rogers. So that's kind of one of those, the rest of the story things. So a little bit of aviation history, ladies.
Wow. So how long would it take to fly around the world today?
Theoretically, a Boeing 747 could fly around the equator today in 45 hours. It's just a little short of 2 days. That's theoretical because no such flights have ever been scheduled, and the plane would have to be refueled. There's no plane that would hold the fuel for that distance. So how's that? Yeah.
Nick, I have another question for you. Was this Willie person, was he famous or well known for anything else?
Well, you know, in the public arena, probably not. But he invented the pressurized suit, which is used by astronauts today, and allowed him to fly at high altitudes. He also invented the altimeter to show how high above the earth he was flying at any particular time. All of this is not bad for a guy who had a sixth grade dropout education. He was a convict who spent time in jail. He had one eye, and one eye missing, that is, so he had no depth perception, and he was chronically depressed most of his life. It says a lot about the perseverance and the love that one has of their life's work. Yeah, he was quite an interesting guy. I'll bet as interesting as, what's his name? The other flyer.
Lindenberg?
What?
Did you mean Lindenberg, the other flyer?
Lindbergh, yes, I'm sorry, yeah.
Lindbergh, right. Charles Lindbergh, right?
Yeah. Well, so that's today's history right then and there.
Well, thank you, Nick. And we have a quick community announcement that we want to make sure we read for our viewers.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks, good, Nick. Thanks.
Okay, well, preparing for Peyton's Path, there is a event July 23rd this weekend at Murray's on Main. It's a 3 o'clock start. There's a 6 p.m. live auction and a 6:30 gun raffle ticket drawing. This is a benefit to raise funds to help the Pierce family pay with Peyton's medical costs. So it's open to the public. There's raffles, games, silent auction, live auction, and a cash bar. And so take time off on July 23rd this weekend and stop in and help support Peyton's medical recovery. And so any fairs this weekend, Charity? Or Monroe, right?
Yeah, the Monroe County Fair here in Tomah is going to be this weekend. So I encourage our viewers to get out there. It should be a really fun time.
It already started.
Yep, it started yesterday, and that goes until Sunday. And then I'm trying to think when there's another fair. I think there's about 3 more coming. But yeah, there are a lot of fairs coming out, so definitely check out and keep following online, and you'll find some fun to go to.
Right?
Yes.
All right, well, we want to thank our viewers for watching your hometown news, where we're connecting you to the community. You guys, he just, yeah, up in Lake Woods. He just started golfing